Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulher from Modern Salon TV. I'm here with my buddy Amanda Epstein.
Hi,
we're out here in Huntington, Long Island at
Lave Home Studio.
such a pretty salon. I had her say it because that's a tough one.
It means change in Danish.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's so good. Okay, so we're doing something pretty exciting here today. There's the new Matrix
Mixed metals.
Mixed metals,
Yeah.
which is this cool new color and so on trend right now. As you can see, that it really works. And what's really nice here is Amanda has already started her model. She's using 3 different shades. And before we get back into the melt, will you just show us her before shot?
Oh yes, I have it right here. So this was her before. So as you can see, we had a little bit of work ahead of us, but I went in and pre-lightened her with Matrix Light Master and Bond Ultimate, and pre-toned her with some color sync shades, and now we are applying our metallics.
So now you do a whole color melt. You start with a base shade,
Right.
And what I love here is that Amanda labels everything. Because
OCD a little bit.
but what's great is when you start with the colors, they're all the same color.
Right, these are the demi-permanent shades of the metallics. So we're mixing them with 10 volume Matrix Cream Developer, and we all know when we mix demi-permanent shades, we put it in the bowl, it needs to oxidize and develop. So we can't tell the color right away. So for me, and honestly, even when I do semi-permanent shades, I like to label just because I feel like it keeps me organized and keeps me like kind of focused on what colors I want to use. So I like to label. That's my own, method. But this technique I do a lot in the salon. Every day I do it with more natural tones, or you can do it with the really fun, funky tones. It's just like a very quick, easy, efficient, dimensional look. Without using any foils or cotton.
So you went through, and actually you did this very quickly. You went through in very small sections, and you brought
Yes.
it down about an inch or two.
Yeah, I like
throughout.
to keep the base shade smaller. I don't think it should be too long, otherwise we start to get into that like ombre look, which is okay, but that's not really the look we're going for. So I would say about 1/2 inch at max when you're doing a base shade, and you can always pull it down a little bit more if you need to when you're blending your colors.
Okay, and then
All right.
step 2.
Step 2.
Well, actually, this is step 3. The pre-lightening is step 1.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So I'm going in with rose gold, and then I also have a second bowl of rose gold with equal parts of clear.
Here, we're gonna. So this
Can we
is
see?
if we bring these over here. So this is the rose gold.
That's rose gold and 10 volume by itself. This is our rose gold with clear. Equal parts.
They look delicious. Okay.
Right?
So put that back.
So I would always go in with the lighter shade first when you're doing this. I think that's important. If you start with the darker, you're really gonna have to make sure you clean off your gloves. So you don't wanna get the darker color on the lighter pieces. And I try to keep the lighter pieces around the face. I'm really just taking vertical sections, and I'm just gonna go right in with my rose gold and clear.
How do you apply color differently to fine hair?
So when I'm doing it with fine hair, you want to make sure we're taking softer angles. You don't want anything too harsh because on fine hair it's going to show up. Definitely smaller sections when we're adding the colors because we want to make sure that it's not big, huge chunks and stripes on their head.
And how would you be doing this differently if her hair, again, now that you're melting it down, if her hair was either curly or dense?
I probably would just be taking bigger sections.
Okay.
Really. Again, it depends on what they're looking for. The more natural you want it, the smaller the sections you want it to be. If you want it to really show and be like really, really dimensional, I would take bigger sections. I always keep a towel on me just to kind of wipe my gloves. I don't want to get the wrong color on the wrong section. With this technique, it's not a huge deal, but it's a good trick just to keep a towel on you, just to keep your hands clean. So this is my next section. I'm actually gonna leave it out, and I'm gonna take this section right behind it and go in with my rose gold and clear. And just make sure we're really like blending it in to our base color because we don't wanna see any spots. And now I'm going to turn her all the way around and just repeat the same thing on the other side. I think sometimes, because I think most hairstylists, we're pretty OCD and perfectionists, and we like everything to be like perfect and neat, and so I think sometimes this is a little hard for us to grasp, even for me at first, because I'm like, it's so messy. But I can tell you, it always looks very, very natural and dimensional. I use a lot, I'm obsessed with mocha shades as well from Color Sync, and I do this a lot with like a level 10 and like a level 6, just to give it like that really pretty dimensional look.
I don't want to interrupt you while you're working.
No, interrupt
but Amanda,
away.
How do you, people were asking us, how does one keep inspired in hair color? What do you do to keep inspired?
For me, a lot of it is just my friends, like on Instagram and social media, and looking at your guys' page, Modern Salon as well. That definitely drives me. And then I just think, I don't know, I think just even like anything, nature, anything kind of keeps me like inspired. But I feel like if you have like a really good circle of like really talented people around you, it like keeps you like pushing. Like I love to be surrounded by people that are like 10 times more talented than me. My model, Victoria, she does my nails. I will show you later after I take my gloves off. She's so talented and so creative, and we kind of vibe off each other all the time. How long are we there doing our nails? It takes like 2.5 hours to get my nails done because we talk the whole time. So just surrounding yourself with really creative people that have like amazing work ethic and they kind of push you, you know? I think that's what keeps me inspired.
Okay, so you are doing every other panel.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
I'm doing my lighter shade first. This is the rose gold with the clear. And I'm just going in and melting it into my base shade, and then I'm gonna go back in with the panels that I didn't do with the rose golds. So again, my sections aren't perfect. They're not neat. I'm sure when I first started doing hair, this would have taken me like an hour, just because I would have made sure the lines were perfectly straight, and we don't really have time for that in the salon. Like I don't.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions that
Yes,
when
let's do
people
it.
heard I was meeting with you, they were asking this. What are the number of shades in the palette?
So there are 4 new shades in the Color Sync palette. So we have our rose gold and our smoky lilac, which is what I'm using on Victoria. And then we also have a sheer bronze and a silver gray.
Okay, and does it come in permanent?
It comes in permanent as well. So color. So we have our, I think it's the violet mauve and our rose gold.
Okay. I just have this whole wonderful list. I love it.
I love
Can
lists.
this be mixed with the regular watercolors line?
Absolutely. So we have our Color Sync watercolor shades. We have our berry violet, our quartz pink, coral peach, moss green, and I feel like I'm forgetting one more. Pink, blue, sapphire blue. And we can mix those actually in my hair. It's the watercolors and the metallics mixed together.
Okay.
We can also mix these with any of the Color Sync palette. So clear, like I've done here, the rose gold with clear, or it can be intermixed with any of the other shades as well.
Okay, and once you have all of this on, how long do you process it?
Color Sync processes up to 20 minutes. So I would do anywhere from 10 to 20. Depends again, fine hair is gonna process quicker, more porous hair is gonna process quicker, so you wanna make sure that we're really watching when you're doing shades like this, because you can see like the ones that I already did, they're really kind of pulling through already.
And then once you have everything in, how long will the whole color last?
That's a great question, actually, because I feel like I get this question so much when I'm out teaching classes and everything. there's so many factors when it comes to how long color lasts, right? So Color Sync is a demi-permanent shade. You should get up to 20 to 24 shampoos with it. However, it really depends on main thing being porosity of the hair. So we're actually going to talk in a little bit about Biolage, the Raw Color Care line. It's brand new. And they have something in that line that's a back bar treatment that really helps with porosity and the pH level in the hair. And that helps for these colors to last longer.
Okay, I'm actually going to show these
Oh,
because
yeah.
these were introduced.
Forgot they were right there.
Yeah, no, this is great because these were introduced recently and we were so excited. We all the editors at Modern went home and tried them and kind of fell in love. So these are the Biolage Raw, and
that's the shampoo and conditioner. That is the heat primer, so that's a styling product, heat protectant. And then that is the acid milk rinse, which is I'm obsessed with. That is the back bar treatment that I was talking about. It's funny because me being a blonde, I'm sure all blondes can relate to this. Your hair doesn't always feel the softest, right? So I've been using that at home and I'm like, my hair is so soft. Like, I don't know what's going on. And then I realized my hair actually feels healthy. Like, I should have realized that probably sooner, right? But it was because of that, the Color Care, that really helped my hair to feel like super soft, especially even after doing like a very severe lightening process that we did on me recently.
so now this is the Stronger Rose Gold.
This is the Stronger Rose Gold, yeah. So I'm just going through on the pieces that I left out. But back to your other question, the other things that are really important is their at-home maintenance. When you're talking with your clients, the biggest thing is my 3 top questions. These are the 3 top questions that I ask my clients. 1, what shampoo they're using. That's important, right? We don't want anyone using certain brands that they can buy at certain stores. I don't know if I can say that. 2 being the temperature of the water that they're using to wash their hair. If they're using scalding hot water on their hair, that's never good. And 3 being how often they wash their hair. Right? If they wash their hair every day, the color's gonna fade out a lot quicker.
So and just to go over this again, you
Yes.
think this trend is going to be at least throughout the spring and summer?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I can totally, and that's another thing that I love about the metallics is they're in the watercolor family. So they're definitely a little bit more on the pastel end, which to me is kind of more like spring and summerish.
Yeah, perfect.
So I feel like they're like perfect timing. I don't see it going anywhere anytime fast.
And I see you're really saturating.
Oh, so
Yeah.
important. Yeah, you want to make sure you're really saturating. And again, she is on the finer side of hair, but if we miss a spot, if it's not fully saturated, it'll definitely show through. So I like to make sure I'm oversaturating. It's very important. But this stuff spreads so nicely. It's really easy to work with. You guys can see it's just kind of gliding through. Okay.
All right, so this would process for 20 minutes.
Right, exactly.
And what in the rinsing, what do you do when you rinse it? How do you keep these from blending together, or is that okay?
No, I mean, I would be okay with a little blending. That's the whole point, I think, is to keep it a little bit more on the natural side. But I don't see a lot of bleeding with these colors. Again, I have them in my hair. I have the blues and everything, and I can see all the different tones going throughout. So, and we didn't take any special care doing my hair. We rinsed it as fast as we
And
could. So.
equally important, we have to see your
Oh,
nails.
yes. It's Victoria at Nail Bar Lounge. She's
In Huntington, New York.
she's in Hop Hog, New York.
Hop Hog, New York.
Yes. Hey everyone, so I rinsed Victoria. I shampooed her with our Biolage Color Care Raw Shampoo. And now I'm going to do the Color Care Acidic Milk Rinse made with coconut milk and oat milk. It's a 5-minute treatment. So I'm just going to apply it right onto the hair. And you can actually work this in as a service, 5-minute scalp massage, because you want to get that whole biolage experience. And this is going to bring the pH level back down in the hair to 4.5, which is our normal, 4.5 to 5.5, which is our normal range. So after we're done with this, after the 5 minutes, I'm gonna rinse, condition with our Color Care conditioner. And then I'm going to use the Heat Styling Primer, style her, and that's it. My name is Amanda Epstein at Amanda Epstein Hair. Thank you guys so much for following along, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks.